Hey, so continuing right along with our Vermont experience, we're at a beautiful calcareous woodland here that my buddy told me about. Lots of good stuff, lots of really beautiful trees. Evident that there's some logging activity, but that's okay. That's not a deal breaker. Sometimes that can be good. Anyway, here's a real cool fern just to start you off with. This is Botrypus virginianum, or one of the Botrypus. They did some revision to the taxonomy, but historically all of these would have been in the genus Botrypus, these so-called rattlesnake ferns. What makes these so unique is something with their actual anatomy here. As you can see, this is the sporophyll right here emerging from the same stem that the actual leaf frond is. And a lot of plants in this particular clade of fern, these Ophioglossidae or Ophioglossoid, whatever you want to call them, ferns, do that. They have that same form factor. And these are also interesting because these are, as I've been alluding to in a number of videos that I've kind of been doing lately, one of these weird eusporangiate ferns, meaning that when they're making their little spores there, those sporophylls are coming out of multiple cells on the epidermal tissue. If that makes any sense, dude. Just understand, if you want the clickbait version, these are a more ancient lineage of fern than, say, something like a bracken fern right there, is. So these have been abound a bit longer. I think these are actually, just in terms of fern, second most basal only to Equisetum. So they're interesting for that regard. Plus they're really pretty looking, in my opinion. Quite striking, quite stately. And go look at a couple of things down this little wood road here. Do a little roadside botany the right way, where there's actual good stuff. And I only know that because I had already hiked down here with my buddy. So anyway, we're gonna go recap some of the stuff we saw. Got a cool, yet another cool orchid, because it might as well when in Rome. And a handful of other things that we can go look at. The beautiful hardwood forest through here. Ooh, calcareous hardwood forests of Vermont. And then I can go probably check in at my campground there. But anyway, I'll keep you up to date and informed on what's going on as we progress down the road here. Just so you have an understanding of what I mean when I say calcareous, this is the rock I was, pining for in the last video you would have seen. This is that shale, probably not limestone, but shale or slate. Definitely some form of a sedimentary rock, which reduces the pH and makes it quite basic, quite the opposite of acidic. Somebody left a little car up there. That's kind of weird. And Columbines, Aquilegia canadensis, a fern that I unfortunately can't give you a name for right now, and then Polystichum acrosticoides everywhere along here. Loving the rocky this rocky road cut. Pretty cool habitat. You get this everywhere too, unfortunately. Cool plant, but unfortunately it's invasive. This is an invasive species of orchid, Epipactis hilberine. Don't need to spend too much time talking about that guy right this second, but lovely habitat here. Again, mostly hardwood trees, not a lot of conifers. You get your hemlocks interspersed. When I was driving through, there was a pretty impressive stand of a red spruce, but through here mostly sugar maple and birch is what you're going to be looking at. In fact, I'm looking at what appears to be a dead hemlock right in front of me here, coming up next to the birch, as they so often do, clinging to the rocks. Anyway, it was a Goodyear spot, but I mean, how many times do you want to see the leaves of Goodyear pubescens when we could go look at a few other things instead? So let's see what else we got going on. Yeah, that is outstanding. I told you how much I love calcareous rock. All these cool ferns that I gotta just take pictures of because I don't even know what they are. Looks like you got some sort of ribes there. Would be able to give you more information if I had it. All sorts of cool stuff. Some sort of elm. Probably not an American elm. But who knows? Definitely some species of ulmus. But look at this guy. Looks like an open-grown tree. I wouldn't be surprised. They're doing a lot of logging through here, but that's, you know, like I said, that's fine. Managed woodland, even if they're going to take some of the trees, still better than often just completely unmanaged woodland. The only real invasive species I'm seeing through here has been that Epipactis halberine, you know, which is okay. Doesn't get too crazy. Here's a nice member of the rose family. Rubus, oh god, what do they call it? Not Rubus fragrans or Rubus purpurea. I'm gonna forget it. Whatever. It's a purple flowered raspberry, true blue. You know, member of the raspberry and blackberry genus Rubus. Rubus odorata, that's the name. And true to its name. Oh, this. Well, I guess this one's kind of. These are kind of dried up and wilted. You go a little further north. Yeah, it doesn't really smell like much. Beautiful color to them. Plant this as a shrub. It's a raspberry. It's edible as far as I understand. It's not that spiny. Has attractive foliage and attractive flowers. That'd be a great shrub to have. And it'll grow pretty much anywhere too. I see it a lot more often out here in these types of habitats out here in Vermont. But you know, as long as you've got some nice part shade and some disturbance, it'll do fine. Anyway, we're gonna go see if we can find, or I'm gonna go see if I can find this cool Platanthera that I was just showing. I hope that my stupid, silly self didn't just, you know, walk right by it. But we'll see. We'll see. Okay, and I mean, I don't know how many more of these I'm gonna manage to show you this year, but there's so many goddamn species of Platanthera, guys. There really are. Our most species-rich genus of orchid in New England by a pretty substantial margin. And this one's a weirdo. This one's real weird looking. This is Platanthera hookeri. You know, hooker's bog orchid, whatever. You know, whatever you want to call it. There's that nectar spur withered down below. There's the labellum. And these things have this bizarre, almost like upward arcing habit to them. This one's a little spent. Here's maybe a better one right here. Yeah, there you go. Get this guy in focus for you. A nectar spur to rival clavellata. Let me get the flies on me. Yeah. Look up in there, you can see those two petals. Goddamn horsefly. Oh god, hang on. Let's try a new approach here. Okay. Get off of me. So these are more of a wood-dwelling species of orchid. My buddy was saying he's not sure how rare these are considered to be. This is one that admittedly wasn't on my radar. We met by chance at a spot. Well, not by chance. It's a spot he told me about, and I told him when I was going to be there. It was an open invitation. But okay, there we go. So there's that morphology. Nectar spur. Bizarre hooked labellum. Get your column and pollinia up there. Looks like your two dorsal petal or your two lateral petals are kind of folded up at the top there. Obviously, it's an inferior ovary. That's a real oddity to me. It's a real weird looking Platanthera. They've been all along the side of the forest. This was a real, you know, a real juicy spot we found them in. But yeah, they don't mind the dry stuff. Here was the one that really caught our eye. Not too small, not as big as dilatata, but still, you know, not the smallest thing in the world. Not a bad plant, pretty darn interesting, and as a matter of fact. So anyway, oh god, I'm hiking around in flip-flops right now. I'm a real mess, but that's okay. I'm having fun. That's the most important thing. I'm having fun. I could have sworn there was some more up over here, but that's okay. It doesn't really matter. You get this cool Adiantum, palmatum, the northern maidenhair fern. These are real neat. You get this weird grass too. Let's see if I can figure out what this weird curly Q grass is, because that's fascinating. Anyway, I don't know. I think that's all I got for over here. This is going to be a quicker one. Get this nice Erigeron. Then I'm gonna figure out the species on this. I took some good pictures of it. Can figure out the species of this Erigeron here, which is doing quite well. Maybe it's just a different ecotype of one of the more common ones, like Strigosus or something like that. I won't kill not gonna kill myself if it's you know, not something super interesting. But I think what we're gonna do now, yeah, it's pretty nice little Aster though, huh? So anyway, I think what we're gonna do here is head over to my campsite, get all checked in, deal with that, and gear up to do a little bit of afternoon botany. I get some nice polypodiums down there too. Real nice forest makeup. There was Platanthera aquilegia in here too, but what the heck, I don't really feel like showing that to you again. No real need. And then last but not least, what I can only imagine is Eurybia macrophylla, another cool Aster. But I think we'll leave it there for now. I might check in if I can go back and find where this cool, beautiful stand of red spruce was, and if not, the video is just gonna cut off there. Well, dang. Guess we were pretty high up. I was looking at the altimeter. This car I'm borrowing, it's got an altimeter in it. It said 1,400 feet. Pretty darn high up, actually. Looking out over there. Not actually. You know, I drove by where those spruces, where I think it's more plantation stock. I can see a whole bunch more out there, and that would make more sense to me. I think they're doing some logging through here, which is, you know, gonna alter, you know, whatever, alter the forest makeup. Tilia americana right there. Malvaceae, beautiful tree, one of only 2 native Malvaceae we get. Nice component you get in these types of forests. And you know, Vegas grandifolia, sugar maple. It's just a really nice, you know, it's just different. It's not all oak and pine, you know. Southern New England, eastern New England, so easy to get hung up on all the oak and pine stuff. Nice to see something a bit different. In any case, I'll probably get 2 or 3 other videos to make in the next day or 2. Hopefully you're getting something out of these. I'm really trying to crank them out because I'm about to be busy, and I don't know when I'm going to have a reliable vehicle again. So we'll see what we can do. We're getting a 2-day reprieve here.